I was with Peter Nardi from Alakazam in a restaurant in Blackburn, Chinese restaurant. Sometimes we drink a whiskey, Peter and I, together. And I did with a Chinese guy. I go stand up. Peter said, "Hey, Leo, do a trick." So I put 3 cards in the pocket of the Chinese guy, and Peter gave the answers. The whole restaurant was laughing, and the guy don't know anything. But then on the end, I steal out the cards again. So they are in the front pocket, and on the end, when I'm ready to steal out the cards, and he know nothing, and everybody is laughing.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Desert Island Tricks. Today we are going all the way over to Holland, to one of the nicest and most crazy people I've ever met in Magic. In fact, his name in my phone is Crazy Leo. And quite often I have friends in my car, his name will come up when he rings and it says Crazy Leo. And my friends say, "Who's Crazy Leo?" And I say, "Just wait. Wait 2 minutes and it'll all make sense." And by the end of the phone call, they understand why. He is so funny. Now, if you've never come across his creations, we've actually had several of his creations mentioned in other people's list. Specifically, a certain kind of paddle that has come up several times in other people's lists. His props are absolutely phenomenal. I own several of them. If you're a fan of the 3-shell game, you will never ever find someone as good as Leo Smetsers. If you get the chance to have an education from him and have a masterclass, jump at it because he really is absolutely phenomenal. He's got incredible chop cup routines. He's got incredible props, card to impossible locations, tables, literally anything you can think of. He makes these incredible luxury props. So today's guest, of course, is the crazy Leo Smetsers. Hello, Leo.
Good morning, England. How are you?
Very well. How are you, Holland?
Good, mate. Yeah, nice.
This is the first podcast I've ever started, and it sounds like we're at Eurovision. Hello, England. Good. So, how did you find putting your list together?
They asked me to look at my best 8 tricks. And people that know me, and when I go to a table, like table hopping, I do lots of tricks. I have a drawer with me, and I think I have more than 50 tricks always with me, always. So when somebody reacts, I can take the trick on reaction from the spectator. That's for me important. I see musicians walking around with a deck of cards and 3 or 4 tricks in the pocket. But for me, it's important when I get the reaction about counting or about numbers or about somebody's job. I can react with a trick. And that's why I have my special suitcase always with me. And in that are a lot of beautiful tricks.
Well, you do close-up, parlor, stand-up, trade shows. You sort of do a good mix of every kind of genre.
75-80% table hopping. I do this on fairs, a lot of fairs, weddings. Holland is not like England because I know England, you have every wedding you have a musician, but sometimes you have, I think in a year maybe 5. But I do every week around 4-5 gigs in Holland. Every week for this year for 30 years old. So yeah, I like to perform. And I do some stage performance. I work now on a crazy trick for stage for myself. Not to sell it, but I find something new. I work for 6 weeks now, every day on this trick. Because I think this is the best trick I ever create for myself. So that's all kind of things I do on a moment. And yeah, I have a lot of beautiful tricks, but I do on table hopping.
So your list, does it reflect more the table hopping side or the stand-up side?
I think it's more some tricks I do on stage and on table hopping. Let's say my diary. Yeah, I have a small diary that I sell. My diary trick is one of my best tricks what I ever have. on table hunting, but I can do the same trick on stage because I make a very huge, big diary. Yeah, so I make the combination of it.
Okay, so I reckon this is going to be a good mix of close-up, maybe some gambling stuff, because we know that you're a big fan of your gambling routines.
People that love me know that I love gambling stuff. And one is my favorite.
So if this is your first time listening, the idea is that we're about to maroon Leo on his very own desert island. When he's there, he's allowed to take 8 tricks, banish 1 item, take 1 book and 1 non-magic item that he uses for magic. Particulars: who's there, what's there. I'm sure there's lots of interesting things on Leo's magical island, but we'll leave that in his imagination. So we're going to go to his island now and find out, Leo, what did you put in position number 1?
Card in mind. Because card in mind is for me the strongest thing I have in card magic. Every table I do card in mind, and I do it not once, I do it 3-4 times. Yeah, card in mind is crazy. You know, you can do card tricks, but after you do card in mind, you don't have to do any card trick anymore because they think, oh, he knows everything about cards. I do this for 30 years. For me, it is the strongest effect I have in card magic. For years, and I do it quick because you know me, I'm a quick musician. I don't work slow. I don't have long stories. I do boom, 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 boom. And when I come out of the table, I said, okay, take a card and I spread out my deck. They look at the card, and then it's in my pocket, or I put it in the spectator's pocket, or I put it under glass, or anywhere. And this is so strong effect that it always stick with me. I was with Peter Nardi from Alakazam, and I think you know him, in a restaurant in Blackburn, Chinese restaurant. And sometimes we drink a whiskey, Peter and I, together. And I get with the Chinese guy, I go stand up. Peter said, hey, Leo, do a trick. Peter liked my whistle because I have a very strong whistle. And then he said, hey, do a trick with this guy. So I put 3 cards in the pocket of the Chinese guy, and Peter gave the answers. And that was so crazy. The whole restaurant was laughing, and the guy don't know anything, don't understand. But then on the end, I steal out the cards again. So they are in the front pocket, and on the end, when I'm ready, he steal out the cards, and he know nothing. And everybody is laughing. And yeah, there's a crazy effect. Card of mind it's strong. So, you know, you can force a card, but they're strong, but by you, the spectator, take one in your mind. It's so good.
So, first thing I want to say is this is my favorite of your card tricks. And Harry Nardi knows this because Harry showed it to me and absolutely blew my mind with it. And then I asked him to teach me it. And then last year when we had you over, you taught me it as well, and it's such a good trick, and I've seen you perform it live, and putting the card into someone's pocket is the best. So the idea is it's basically a thought of cards trick. So Leo spreads the deck and has someone think of one of the cards that they're seeing, and then once they've seen one, he closes up the deck, he asks them a couple of questions, and hits it right every time. So is this black, is this red, and then he reveals what the card is. And when they look down, it's in their breast pocket. So he actually has a brilliant way of loading it into their breast pocket without them realizing, which is such a funny moment. When they look down and see it, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's strong, very strong.
It is. And I believe if people want to learn that, it's on your unlimited lecture. I think that was one of the ones that you taught.
It's on a lecture too. It's a small version. And you know how I am. When people want to know it, they can always FaceTime me, and I tell them because I share magic and I like to share magic. I did a tour last month in Germany, and every week I get some German people now to Leo, can you tell me this? Can you tell me that? I like it. You know, I like French, magic French, you know. And I think magic will not be more sharing, because when I do a trick and you do a trick, the same trick, it's completely different. Because your your way of moving, your way of working is completely different than mine. So that's why you never have the same trick. The card of mine, why you do it, and card of mine, when I do it, it's completely different.
Yeah, well, it's a great trick and a great one to open up your list. So what did you put in your second position, Leo?
What I always do every table is my 3 shell game.
Yeah, excellent.
The 3 shell game I create in 1995, 1996. And I do this for more than 30 years now. The first set I make for myself, we make 10 different sets. But then for the testing, which one is the best. But people know that my 3 shell game is only one in my box. This is which is Sander's idea, not mine, because I had the 3 shell game before. Richard was in my home, and he said, why you make a box around it? And everything is included box, and you use the top of the box to put it over. Because before I have a shot cup to put over. Yeah, my 3 shell game is 3 cups, specially made, and the inside that the ball coming quick out of the cup. You can steal it easy. My way of stealing is complete different than anyone else, because I saw the 3 shell game and you put the front into the back, but my one is from the left to the right. It's complete auto grip. That's why I have on top the rubber band on every 3 shell game. And one thing that I always do, I don't like to win. One of the spectators always wins, and this is the funny things I ever create. I think how I do it, how I control the man that holds my shell game that plays with me. That's very important to do this. So let's start from the beginning, because you want to know what I do and how it's works. So I start to open the box, and then I take out the 3 small cups. The bottom part of the box I put in my pocket, and the top part I put on the table or I give to the spectator. Then I ask somebody from along the table, and most of them is the guy that I think, oh, he's going to book me. This guy has money and he can book me, or the guy that give the party. And he always wins a bottle of wine, because I'm normally 80% I pay for a bottle of wine. When I pray for the father and son, I pray for the car washing, do the disc, all kinds of this thing. But normally with 2 people, I pray for a bottle of wine. And then I take the spectator that's standing near me in his arm. And then on a moment I put my right finger on the first cup. I said, this is one. I tap his foot. And then I put cup number 2, tap number 2, tap number 3. So he knows when I say 1, he must say 1. When I say 2. So he is always winning. And then they said, oh, what's the price of the wine? But I ask it to the guy that sit down, not that stand to me. And most of the time they say a high price, because they think they're going to win. And they say 10, 15 euro bottle. I said, okay, let's play 10, 15 euro bottle. So then I give him the cup in his hand. I said, put this on top where you think that the ball is. And on that moment, I said to the other guy, when he take 3, you cannot take 3. You must take every time another cup. So he understands, because then we start again. And I always start in 1. Why? I don't know it, but cup 1 is always, but the spectator always think it's in cup 3. So I'm always sure 99% they put on 3. And then I tapped 1 time on his foot, and then he said, oh, it's what? I said, okay, you got a bottle of wine for 15 euro from this guy. And then I show the other cups. Then I do it another one, other times, and I put him in 3. Because now the spectator think, oh, we change it, so we put him in another cup. And really, there's a lot of times happening that he take another cup. Then I tapped the foot of the spectator and he said 3. He said, oh, this is 30 euro, it's going quick. Then I do it for the 3rd time, and then I put it in 1 again. So he's, for me, never coming into And then I said, maybe it's too much cup, because in that moment, he has 3 bottles of wine. He said, maybe it's too much cup for you, sir. So I take 2 cups. I put 1 away. And then I said to him, when you listen to my voice, you can hear where the ball is. But we pray for a double or nothing, or a box or 6 bottles, or nothing. And then I do the pre-shell game, I steal it away. And I said, is it this one or that one? Very loud. So as I pointed myself, is it this one or that one? And he always put the on top from that one. And I said, okay, you lost a bottle of wine because this one. And then I said to the spectator, give me 3 balls too. And you don't believe it, but I have stories about this. I get bookings a lot from this. I have somebody booked me in the south of Holland, let's say 7-8 years back. And I come to there, and I think, oh, it's a festival, because there was balloons going up. And I come and I said to the lady on the desk, said, my name is Smetsers, I'm a musician. Oh, you're sitting down on table number 1. I said, no, sorry. It was a dinner. I said, no, I'm the musician. I've come to you. I said, no, you're sitting down on table number 1. I said, no. He said, you don't understand it. Can you ask the guy that arranged the party that is coming to me? And the guy come, and I recognize this guy. I said, hey, Leo, you're sitting on my table. You don't have to change your clothes. He said, but I must do magic. No. First we eat. After the eating, we have only 1 guy. You must play the pre-shell game for a special bottle of wine. And the only thing you have to know is I must win 6 bottles of wine of this guy, and then you can go home. And that was. So it brings me a lot. The way I perform it, the way I bring it, the way I create it is very, very, very strong effect. And I give a lot of lectures in this, master classes in this.
Well, if 3-shell game wasn't on your list, I would have been surprised, because I've never seen anyone do it nearly as good as you. And when you came over last year and gave the masterclass, just seeing how smoothly you handle it and all of the little touches you have, like the tapping of the foot to get them on side, all of those things just show how long you've been doing it.
You know, I saw some musicians and it's everyone has his own line, yeah. But I like people to laugh. They were laughing and have fun with each other, you know. I always, when I give lectures, I said, 80% of your magic is from when you go to a table and see what kind of public you have, or what kind of trick you must do. 20% is magic, but this 20% must be 100. When I come to the table, in 1 second I see, okay, this language, I cannot talk about sex or anything else. I'm going to be straight because this. And the next table, I see in the public, oh, this is fun. We go to laugh, we go to have fun. This is, for me, 80% of your performance. And 20% is the magic, but this 20% must be 100. The quality of your trick must be top. And that's why I do the 3-shell game.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great choice in at number 2 and leads us nicely into number 3. So what's in your 3rd spot, Leo?
Richard called it the turbo stick, but I call it the pedal. I created this in 2009, and I met Richard in Blackpool. And he don't know me, and I show him the 3-shell game in Blackpool. And I think 1 week later or 2 weeks later, he fly over from Canada to me. And he was in my home for 4 or 5 days. And he was shocked because he said, who's this? Who's that? Who's make this? That's me. That's me that I make it. And then Richard wants to have the rights from the pedal. And we make a deal together. And he make the turbo stick really well, beautiful DVD with his routines on it and his ideas on it. The turbo stick is so strong. And the way I perform it, I work with the shoulder of the spectator. I never show it in my lectures, and I never show it in electric too, because it's Richard's idea, the turbo stick. But the way I perform it is I work from the left to the right. So I'm starting with 3 crosses. This crosses in English crosses. Yes, and and to be on the other side. But I do it with the spectator left. And on a time there is 2 way, then I go to the right and tick on the shoulder on the right guy. Do you understand it? And in that movement, I turn over my pedal. And then I come back with 3 on top. And that's so strong. And then I said, okay, let's do it with you. And then all the time I tap on his shoulder. And at the moment I tap on his shoulder, then I change the pedal. Because it's a natural movement. But the pedal is strong. It's small prop that you can take with you. But you can play big because I make the jumbo pedal. And the jumbo pedal is, you see it far away.
Yeah, so at the head of the podcast, I mentioned that there was one that has been on lists before, and this is it. So Turbo Stick. I didn't want to say at the beginning in case it was in your list, but yeah, this is an absolutely phenomenal trick and a phenomenal routine. I've seen so many people perform it completely differently. Like it's just one prop, but the amount of ideas that people have come up with this trick is amazing.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's you have a lot of things. The only thing, for me, myself, I had only a whiteboard and a pedal, and that's it. I don't need other props on the pedal, but you have beautiful, beautiful tricks. But this one you can do again and again and again, and that's what I like on Magic.
Yeah, it's a great trick and a great choice in at number 3. So what did you put in your 4th position, Leo?
Totally nuts. Leo's totally nuts. It's more than a show, but the way I tell about the story about Houdini and what's happening in this routine is love. I must tell this trick, otherwise we talk about 1 hour about this trick, because this is so beautiful. This is so good what you can do with this trick. The first thing is this: I put a book on the table is the size of €5. Yeah. So all papers are from the size of €5. On the back, they don't, the spectator don't see it, it's my business card. So they write down the name, then I talk about Houdini. And the moment I talk about Houdini, I folded the name of the spectator in a small position. And I have in my left hand the same thing, the same way folded. And I have a change that is so easy. A child can do this change, and it's normal. Then I asked the spectator to put a hand on top of the name, because we're going to talk all the time about Houdini. On the moment I steal the paper with the name on it, I go to my pocket and it's the bill tube, because it's inside the bolt, and I put it on the table. And then I take the 3 screws out and I tell the people one of this has an extra hole. And they come to look and they don't say no, there's no, yeah. And I take one of them. And then I do a ring routine with the thread and one of the bolts. So this is 3 or things that I do with it. But all the time he's coming off the rope. All the time. It's a normal ring routine, what you can do with every ring, but I do this with the rope. Then I have in my pocket 3 cups, exactly the same, but they are closed on the top. And I have them changing. So I change on the table the open ones to the closed ones. And then I play the 3 shell game by these closed ones. So again, the totally trick is, you can do it 5, 6, 7 minutes, but you can do it separately. You can do the ring routine, you can do the changing, and you can do the 3 shell game. But on the end, it's so long time that people don't realize what's happening in the beginning. And all the time, every week I said, did I touch your hand? And they say, no, okay. And then do another movement. I said, did I touch your hand? No. And then I open the screw, and then inside there is the name of the spectator, and under hand is a blank SIM card. And this routine is so strong for everyone. And it's difficult to tell what's happening all the time, but you must look at it. Leo is totally nuts. This is the name from Peters. Peter make Leo is totally nuts. I like this very, very, very much. And the thing is, when you see it in your mind, you think it's a heavy prop. But it's like a sponge ball, so light. So you have nothing in your pocket.
Yep, it's a great choice, and I love that you can just do so much with one prop. I think, like you said, a bill tube, ring-on string routine, and free shell game all from one prop is brilliant, and it's so wonderfully well made as well.
And it's light. That's important because when I give lectures, that was last month in Germany, and I give lectures, and I give it out in the public because everyone think, wow, this is a heavy prop. I don't buy it because it's too heavy. But it's light, very, very light. It's aluminium. Analyze it. It's quality. I liked the tricks to combine with a lot of things. And same with my shot cup, same with my I combine tricks together. Because, like say, a shot cup routine is very short, boom, boom, boom. And there's a ball of whack, it doesn't matter. But when you change it to something longer, then you play with it.
Great. Well, that leads us very nicely into number 5. So what's in your 5th position?
The diary trick is I do for all my life. In the beginning, I write the diary, but then people on when you have a table with 5, 6 people, number 3, 4, they don't see what's on there, and that's why I create my own diary. And I started the table. I said, okay. I threw the diary down and I deck of cards. He said, okay, you have children. Yes, they have children. Your oldest child, when is his birthday? And on the moment they tell me the birthday, I know the card position. Because what I do in my mind, I count it together, the month and the date. So I count, let's say March 10 to 13. In my mind is in my stack 13, the King of Clubs. So I know much for the King of Clubs. But for a spectator, it is so strong because what I do, let's say they are the 10th of March, I show them in January, the 10th of January, or the 10th of February, or the 10th of April, or May, in front. But you choose a card. I don't know why, but for lay person, it's so strong, so strong. And I have a couple of other things too with the diary, because I use it on stage too. Mark Paul has a beautiful thing. You throw in a birthday and he make a calculation. I say, it's a app. And he make a lot of numbers on the stage. I have 2 whiteboards on the stage and I make the same diary, but then use every page has a huge, every page is a day and has a huge card on it. And this is so strong on stage. I think that for the stage, this is my strongest effect that I have. Because you make your own calculation with numbers on stage, and all the time there is a diary in front. The card is, so one is that the calculation is coming on your birthday. In front, I give you a card. And then it said, go to your birthday, and this card is on your birthday. And it's incredible. It's very, very strong.
Yeah, diary tricks are phenomenal anyway. And I think what I like about yours is you've got a combination of different methods, which allows it to happen in a completely different way to others.
I have a couple of tricks with the diary. And the quality, I think you know me. I always look at quality. I work on a new trick now for stage, I tell you. And 5 weeks, I'm looking for quality thing for my new trick. I find it, yeah, this is going to be a very, very strong effect.
Hey guys, Harry here from Alakazam Magic. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. I'm just here to interrupt and tell you a little bit about the Alakazam Magic Convention. It has taken us 35 years to get to this date. However, May the 9th, 2026 will be the very first Alakazam Magic Convention. Now, I know you guys are super excited, maybe just as excited as we are. First of all, the venue is a 37-minute direct train from central London. The venue is then literally a 10-minute walk from the train station. There's hotels within a stone's throw, there's restaurants nearby, and there's incredible food and drink on site. That's all without even getting into the magic side of things. We are going to have 4 incredible lecturers performing throughout the day, including one person who's going to be flying over to the very first UK lecture. We are buzzing to announce who those 4 are. Not only that, there'll be dealers on site and a place for you guys to jam and session and meet new friends. Where are the lectures going to be held? This is my personal favourite bit about the Alakazam convention. They're going to be happening in one of the cinema screens. That means fully tiered seating, comfy seats, a drinks holder, and there will be a close-up camera on the jumbo cinema screen that will be giving you close-ups of all the little nuances that you're going to need to see when the lecturers are performing. There will of course be a full gala show to end the evening off. You guys are not going to want to miss it. The great thing is as well, on the Sunday, the day after, Alakazam Magic Shop, which is a 2-minute drive, will be open. So if you're heading down to the convention, why not stay overnight and come and visit our magic shop? Remember, May the 9th, 2026. Tickets on sale now at alakazam.co.uk. See you guys soon.
Amazing. Well, that leads us to number 6. So what did you put in your 6th spot?
I have on stage. I'm working for 25 years together with a friend of me in Holland in a show. And we have buttons. And it's complete. I don't know what you. It's like a glass, but it's from plastic. What do you call this? Glass.
Bowl.
That bowl. This is on the stage. It's glass. It's 1 meter high, and the bowl is more than 300 buttons. And I make this maybe, I don't know, but I think 20, 25 years back for a stage performance. So I tell about a story about that I was young, and I'm Catholic, and I always go to the church and help in the church. And I talk about thing about the church, yeah, and about balance from the nuns on the clothes. And yeah, it's a funny story. I don't tell it, but I can only tell it in my language. But it's a funny story, and then I ask somebody off that they can come on stage, and I ask them. I don't look. I ask them to put a lot of buttons inside the serving tray, and then take a towel about it, and then I have a story that they can move it. Yeah, and then they give me 3 seconds, and I tell every time how much buttons I take out of the serving plate or the bottle, and it's beautiful. It's strong, very strong, but you get always in the back. Because they think you cannot know what's this, but yeah, it's very, 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 very strong.
Yeah, so we've seen obviously routines like that. Darren very famously did a routine like that before. In your version, is this something that you can only do for stage, or is it something that you would do close up as well?
Oh, that is so big, so huge. It's 1 meter high. Everything is from glass, so they can see nothing. You look through and you think there can be nothing, but there is a small detail that is inside, but you cannot see because it's complete from glass.
Okay, well, that was your curveball one so far. That's not one that I would have known about, but it does lead us to the tail end. So we've got number 7 and 8 now. So what did you put in your 7th spot?
Richard Sanders, I don't know. I think it's called Remarkable pen that you can over with a card on it. Richard gave me the rights to do it in my language. So I have a marker, and I have 2 with it, 5 of hearts and a 3 of space on it. How many times I use it, it's crazy, but at the moment you use it, It's so strong. In fact, you pedal with this, you give it in a spectator's hand, and the beautiful thing is this. So you pedal, you give it in a spectator in an open hand, and then say, let your hand rest on the table. On that moment, they rest on the table, they turn over the hand. Automatically, the name of the card is on top of the, when they open hand, they see the card on the marker. So I pedaled, yeah, and then give it in the hand, and then they turn over the head like this. So I open the hand like this, turn over, and then it's only always on top, and you can force a card. But let's say you take a card in mind, and you have a 5 of hearts. Then I say, and when I know on the moment you have the 5 of hearts, I say, okay, you have a card in mind. Look at this, what is here? Then they say to me, adding 3,000, because in Holland we have this kind of addings markers. And I said, what's on the other side? They do the pedal move. It's adding 3,000. Okay, put it in your hand. Tell me now which card you have in your mind. So there's 2 things happen. I don't know which card they have for the spectator, but I know it's 5 of hearts. And there is something happening in the hand. And when they open it, they see on the marker 5 of hearts. They walk away. On the moment this happens, this comes together, they walk away. That's why I have 2. I have the 5 of hearts and 3 of spades always in my drawer. Always.
Yeah, remarkable is great. Anyone that's used any form of revelation on an inanimate object or something that you sort of use every day and the public know as a certain thing, it really is a phenomenal reaction that they get. And having several of them in your pocket ready to go should, like, maybe a spectator just name a card and you just so happen to have that pen ready to go, you have an absolute miracle on your hands at that point.
Yep, yeah. It is so strong. People that work with me together, nah, what am I do? But on the moment that they see that I have the strongness from this brick, they said, "Can I have some? Can I have some?" Because this is, and you know, maybe you use it 2 times or 3 times in the evening, but this is the talking about the evening because it's not normal. They ask, "Can I see it again?" And it's it's crazy. It's really, really crazy.
Yeah, it's a great trick and leads us very nicely into number 8. So what was in your final position, Leo?
The fly case. I know a guy in England has it too. And I think I'm talking with him now. The fly case is very old. It's, I think, 16 years old at the moment. The ring in teabag in 1 second, it's, I don't know, a strong vodka stage. You can do this on table hopping, but I do it on stage. So you give the spectator, you ask for a ring. I don't know the box, I have it here. That you buy a box, you put it in and he fell on the route, you know. Vanishing ring, I use this and I have a story about the mentalist and a magician. What's the difference to a mentalist and a magician? So I go into the ballot. I said, who can I have a ring? Most of the time I ask a lady for a ring. They put the ring by themselves in the box. I close the box and said, come to the stage. On that moment I walk into the stage, I have the ring in my right hand. Then I put the box in front everyone on the table. So they think I don't touch it. Yep. And I said, when it goes wrong, we're going to drink some tea together. And I walk to my suitcase, throw the ring in, and at the same time I take the fly case out. That is really a second. On that moment, the ring is inside the tea bag. You cannot miss it. Then I put it down and I said, okay, let's first start with the mentalist. What's the mentalist doing? A mentalist takes the ring, but I do nothing. And I take the ring out of the box with my hand, but I don't touch the box. And I throw it to somebody in the public. Then I ask him, sir, can you go stand up? He goes stand up and I feel in your right pocket. On the moment, he goes in with his hands. Oh, And he's gone. He's gone to the other side of the room. Sir, you could stand up. So he goes stand up and said, feel your right pocket. And I said, well, he's back in the box. And that's a mentalist. And then I opened the box. And I said, oh, the last time, said to the lady on stage, he was with this guy. So I pointed to the guy that that's standing. Said, I'm sorry, it goes wrong, but yes, for the last time he had the ring. And that's Tony laugh again. And then I said, but okay, we can drink some tea together. I give the keys from the fly case to the spectator. She opened the lock. On that moment, I show my hands empty. Do you see? I have nothing in my left hand, nothing in my right hand. Then I open the box and I take the tea bag out. On the moment I take the tea bag out, he closed by himself. Because the weight of the ring is so heavy that he closed it double taped together. Then I turn around the tea bag and then the ring is between the tea. It's incredible. And then I give the tea bag away and for a present and they can take it home. Only one thing, I always said, please take it out before they go from stage, because I had once, I did it. And this lady wanted to take it home to show her husband. But the waiter is coming and think, oh, this is old tea bag. And throw the tea bag away with inside the golden ring. This is really happening. But on that moment, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Now, I think this is my favorite of your tricks that you've produced. I think
a lot of people don't know it, It's a great thing. Because I have only 15 left, I think. Because I don't advertise it, because I will go advertise it till everybody goes there. Oh, I want to have one, put that one. I don't go to make it anymore. The guy that makes it for me was a hobby guy. And he was more than 14 days on 3 or 4 of this fly case, because the secret is so small, so inside the fly case. That's so strong. But somebody come to me now, and I know the same thing what I know now. I said, I have this prop, I must buy, but they must give me 1,000 euro, and I know how strong it is. I buy it because the fly case is so strong. You can put a watch inside. You can put every prediction inside. But I like the tea bag because you can give it away. And yeah, it's strong. The same as the 3 wallets inside. And that's the wallets. Because in the last wallet, they don't understand it. But what the is, there we have it again. A normal prop. Yeah.
Yeah, those who haven't seen it, please do go check it out, because the prop itself is very clever. So the way that you access what you need to access is very, very well made. It looks like quite literally a mini flight case, hence the name. But for me, out of everything, when you first showed it to me, it was having it in the sealed tea bag, which is what blew my mind. Having a borrowed ring appear in a box inside a sealed real tea bag was absolutely mind-blowing.
It's hard to say to musicians, hard to say how strong it is. Because it's yeah. But it's only 10 by 10 centimeters. Huh? It's so small prop. It's not big. It's not like a fly case that you must take another car with, You can put it in your drawer because it's very small. But the strongness of this prop, the way it looks, how it's heavy, it's hard make. It's very good.
Yep, it's great. So let's look back over your list. We've got Card in Mind, 3 shell game, Turbo Stick, Totally Nuts, Leo's Diary, Button Tray, Remarkable, and Flight Case. What a great list of tricks. I think a lot of us playing Leo Bingo would have had a good few of them on there. Definitely 3 shell game. Definitely Card in Mind, Turbo Stick, and I would say Flight Case.
Yeah, and I dealt every time, and you was in the lecture last year when I was in exam, and on the end of the lecture, I always said, "Don't write me, but FaceTime me, and I help you, and I tell you, you know who I am. I like to share magic. I have now a guy from Germany is coming over to me because he wants to do it with me together. I said, okay, no problem, come to me. And we talk about your magic and talk about my magic, because then you can help each other. No? And that's what I like to do.
Well, Leo, we've given you 8 tricks, but you're only allowed 1 each of these, okay? So let's go straight into your banishment. So what's the thing that you would banish from our industry?
I don't like musicians that talk about, wow, I'm so good. That's what I don't like. I never go to a magic day again. Sometimes last week was a lecture from a friend to me. I go to look at it. And then I see people talk about, oh, I have so many gigs. I have so but I don't like. They won't help you. They don't. I share magic. I might share my secrets with other musicians. I share my gigs with other musicians. But you can help each other. You can bring yourself to a higher level. But when I give you some magic, you must not be afraid to give your magic when your gigs to me, because I have always a friend, but I do it for years, and we help each other. We come together, we come up. But the young people said, "Oh, I don't give it," because then he goes to my customers and think, "Yeah, I lost my customer." No, I don't lose your customer, because help each other. That's the only thing I want to tell about this.
Yeah, I think it's one of the main banishments that we've had. So just an ego, people thinking that they're perhaps better. I think that we just all have different strengths. I don't think anyone's better or worse. And for me, when you came over in particular last year, and Leo came over last year and did a free shell game masterclass, and there was this lovely moment where I walked into the shop and we had set a round table up, and you had everyone that was on the masterclass sat around the table just learning and jamming with each other. It was like a hands-on little masterclass, and it was so nice just to see people being able to learn from someone with so much knowledge and experience. And I can imagine that if someone was maybe in the wrong state of mind when it comes to, ego, they would never ever have the opportunity to learn from you, because they would think that they're too good, or they wouldn't think that they should be learning, whatever it is. So
I'll tell you a beautiful story. I never was in a magic club, in the beginning of my career, maybe 6 years. Then the last 20, 25 years, I was not in a magic club. But now I go to a magic club. Do you know what? In this club is more than 60% old people. And they learn me. They help me. They have props from 60 years back, 50 years back. And I think, whoa, I never see this. Young people only do this. Listen to videos, listen to. But these guys, the old musicians knows more than anyone else. And that's why I had a club, very lovely people. And they said, oh, Leo, I want to show you something, because this I did in the years. I tell you a story. The trick that I created now for myself, I get this idea from a guy from 80 years old in Germany. Because I was eating with him and he said, what was your best trick in your life? And he tell about a trick. And I said, oh, can I do this? Can I change it? Because I want to do this idea, but not this trick. The idea I like. And I said, yeah, you can do this. And now I am nearly ready with my version. And I Skype him. I Skype with him, or I Zoom it. And I tell him what I did, and I show him the props. What I make for this trick. It's 15 minutes on stage. One trick. But it's a story. And he was so lovely to me. He said, oh, wow, that you do this for me. It was an old prof. And he told me this idea.
Yeah, I think there's some really lovely people in the industry, and you have to open yourself up to talking to them and then you have these really amazing interactions, and we can all lift each other up. You know, we don't have to. We're colleagues, not competition. I think that's the best way of looking at it. But that brings us to your book, Leo. So what did you put in your book position?
Yeah, there's a problem with me. I buy a book for years back from Mark Wilson, complete course. I have a problem with reading. I'm dyslexic. So I look into the pictures and and then I think, I don't can read so well. That's why I tell everybody, talk with me by FaceTime, because when he sent me a mail, sometimes I get a mail, low mail, and I think, oh bloody hell! I go to my wife. Said, what he ask? So I'm a visual guy. I'm not a reading guy. It works for me well because I think completely different than anyone else. That's the reason I can create stupid things, and this brings me a lot in my life. Some people that dyslexic think, oh, I am dyslexic, blah blah blah. To me, I think it's one of the best things in my life what's happening, because now, from when I was young till now, I think completely different than anyone else, because everybody going to read everything, and I visualize it.
We've had a few people on the podcast before that say they struggle to read. So maybe we should change this from your favorite book or your favorite DVD/video download. Maybe that's what we'll do in the future. But
I have two friends, one in England and one in Germany, and they read Chris Wood. I think you know Chris. I think it's one of the best musicians I have. For me, best musician I ever saw. But I call him of Mark, and Mark is a German guy, and they know everything, everybody. They said, I look on that book on that page, and I think it's there. And this is so crazy. So Chris too said, yeah, I think it's in the book, or let me see this book on page number. Yeah, you see? It's crazy that people can do this. Andy reads a lot. But yeah, I like it very much to do it my way, and it helps, and it brings me a lot.
Okay, there we go. So that leads us to your item, Leo. So what is the thing that you use for magic that isn't inherently magical?
I use a pen to pedal. But I go to I work a lot of fairs, and I like to walk around the stands when I break, and then they have always pens there. Yeah, and I pedal with the pen. I said, "Oh, sir, your pen is not magical. Go, the text goes away." And then I'll throw it back at the walk. And then they go to look at this type of things. That's what I like. Not in my show, but yeah, that's what I do.
So we would be taking a pen with us for you to do several tricks. Now, you did mention, obviously, Remarkable. So that would go perfectly well with Remarkable as well, as a little pen to switch out. Well, let's go back over your list. We started with Card in Mind, 3-shell game, Turbo Stick, Totally Nuts, Leo's Diary, Button Tray, Remarkable, Flight Case. Your banishment is Ego. Your book, if you were to have one, was Mark Wilson's Complete Course in Magic. And your item is a pen. What a great list, Leo. If people want to find out more about you, your lectures, your products, all of that good stuff, where can they go?
They go to hollandtricks.com. They can reach me there, or they come to smetsers.nl. And that's my site, and they can contact me. And, can I tell you again? Don't write, but FaceTime me. And I help you all the time.
Amazing. So FaceTime Leo if you need any help, and of course FaceTime him just to tell him that you enjoyed the podcast and that you listened to it. Do hit him up on the lectures as well. He's a phenomenal lecturer, and we've actually got his lecture. So if you're an unlimited member, we have a version of his lecture on there that he very kindly recorded for us last year. You can see the whole thing, and a couple of these items are actually on that lecture. In particular, Card in Mind, go check that out because it's a phenomenal trick. Thank you again, Leo.
Thank you, and hope to see you quick, because I hear a beautiful thing next year, 9th of May. So I come over to England again. Yeah, and a couple of weeks, I have my big friend over in Holland for 5 days.
I'm looking forward to those pictures already. When Pete and Leo get together, it's always an interesting.
Yeah, you know what's strange is that when Peter come over, when we go to a bar, I do know Peter. He's a top musician. It's a shame that he don't do no more days and all kind of things, but he's a top musician. But what I do is this. I make a card in mind, and let's say they have the 10 of diamonds, and I go up on top of the 4 other 10s, other 3 10s. So on top of the deck of cards, I have 4 10s. And then said to Peter, I cannot find the card, can you find it? And then we work all the evening together with a couple of weeks. And this is so fun. We was in Holland, maybe 5 years back. And when we go out of the bar, whole bar was full with cars. And it's, funny, always funny with Jenny and Peter.
Well, hopefully we'll all see those pictures in the future. Well, thank you again, Leo. And of course, thank you all for listening. We're going to be back again next week with another guest on the podcast. So we'll see you then. Have a great week.
Hi, Peter Nardi here, and I really hope you enjoyed that podcast. I just wanted to let you know that Alakazam have their own app. You can download it from the App Store or the Google Play Store. By downloading the app, it will make your shopping experience even slicker at Alakazam. You'll also get exclusive in-app offers and in-app live streams. So go download it now, and we'll see you on the next podcast.